Amen. There is only love. Good morning, CSL Davis. It is so good to be with you this morning. And this month's theme you've talked about is all about God and the quality of play. It's about the playfulness of God. So you've heard about the healing power of laughter and the importance of rest and peace, but there's another dimension of play that helps us to build relationships filled with joy and meaning. So what if this entire community decided to embrace the idea of playing together as a key component of healthy living? That's what I'd like to address today. Well, everyone playing together. You know, I had a partner who at one time would, every time I'd go out to conduct a workshop or to go off to work, my partner would say, play nice with the other kids, to which I'd roll my eyes and say, I always play fair and as nice as possible. And this month, like you, I've gotten to think about play as an essential God quality. As you can tell, I'm like one more for work. As I was looking at the affirmation, it should be like, I play in my community as God in love, as opposed to I work in my community. So I'm sort of bent on the work end of things, but I'm asked to reflect on this idea of play. And play can be a powerful spiritual healing agent. There's a guy, Mark Hyman, an American physician and a New York Times best-selling author. He wrote Eat Fat to Get Thin and the Pegan Diet. I had to look that up. That's a combination of paleo and vegan. But what he says about this idea is that the power of community to create health is far greater than any physician, clinic, or hospital. So let's just look at the health benefits, the social connections, and find a way we can incorporate a few more of playing in our spiritual community. And this includes loosening up in front of people, accepting invitations, and making play a community affair. So today's talk is called Happy Together, but I feel like I may be doing the proverbial preaching to the choir, because I see that you gathered last week in Shields Grove for a little tree hugging, a little water blessing, and an all-around celebration of your new minister, Reverend David. So congratulations to you all, the community, for having done that. And since today is all about play, and I've been a lot touched by season 2 of Bridgerton, I'd just like to sort of congratulate you, imitating Lady Danbury. So a little bit of play. Shields Grove sounds like a rather delightful spot. So glad that you're starting your new journey of building community connections in fresh new air. Fresh new air. A spring soiree in Shields Grove. Absolutely delightful. Anyway, I hear that you're going to be going back and soireeing in Shields Grove a little bit more. So playing together, you know, unlike Bridgerton, playing together, your community cannot be plagued by gossip, because a strong community precludes any gossiping. So there's nothing like gossiping and comparisons to make a community very, very unhappy. So let's focus on what we want. It is continued happiness together. But happiness to me seems like a fleeting emotion. And I'd be glad to take a look at the joy, the God quality of joy, to build joy-filled and joyful communities. So joy is something that you feel. It's in your heart. It's in your soul. It's a state of consciousness. And Thomas Troward calls joy a gift of the spirit, like love and life and peace and power and beauty. Those are the new thought gifts of the spirit that help us to express ourselves as the hand of God so that we can help others and ourselves. Now, according to a newspaper in Reno, a column called Faith Forum, the Islam religion describes joy as a personal responsibility. You focus on what you have and you do not compare yourself to others. The Baha'i say that joy is found as a conscious experience in service to humankind, and it transforms both the community and the world. And Buddhism says there are three legs to joy that lead to nirvana. And of course, nirvana is the ultimate joy. That first leg is compassion, as taught by the Buddha. The second leg is dharma, the whole sum of the teaching. And the one that we are focusing on today, the one that we are working with today is the sangha, that deep and caring connection and circle of friends. So now I don't want you to think that I'm tone deaf to the world. There's not only a war going on in Ukraine, but there's a war going on in 40 other countries out there right now. And I see that gas prices and food prices are on the rise and they're going out of control, but these are the conditions of the world. And it is just because of these conditions that we need a little joy in the world right now. So I believe that as we raise our personal vibration of joy, we raise the community's vibration of joy, and we also eventually we raise the vibration of joy, of love, of peace in the entire world. And that's what we need a little bit more right now. So for me, joy embodies what your motto is, what your emblem is. Joy is the feeling that everything is all right now. And that is the very nature of spirit. So we can say it's like that old song says, the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. So we've got joy in our hearts. And as we express joy in our communities, we have to open ourselves up to be vulnerable to play, because play gives us deeper connections, better health. And true play in community involves removing all the masks we wear and allowing our inner child to come out. It involves leaving your comfort zone and having the willingness to look silly without the fear of judgment. So play is imaginative, it's self-directed, it's intrinsically motivated, something to do from the inside out, and it's guided by rules. But when you play, you're not looking for results. You're not actually necessarily trying to accomplish anything. The studies on play say that play can improve stress management, it can stimulate your mind and boost your creativity, and it keeps you feeling young. Now, there are all different kinds of play, and there are types of play that you can incorporate or reincorporate into your community. So there's a play called other directed play. It's like football, volleyball, soccer, baseball. Now, we can do this in community, but in this idea of sort of this other directed play, like football, volleyball, soccer, baseball, there's a winner and there's a loser. But if we dig deep into sort of the psychology of play, the real feeling of play, like when you're a little kid, it wasn't about winning and losing. It wasn't about competing at all. It was just about showing up. It was about acting, pretending, and just being there. So even though we can be a team in football and volleyball, we can sort of raise our consciousness and go into other types of play, other types of lighthearted play as a community. So lighthearted play is a different type of play, and it might involve something like improvisation. Now I was thinking, what kinds of things could we bring into the CSL community around play? And I was a theater minor in college, and I once went to, many years later, I went to a conference called the Theater of the Oppressed. And it's a type of theater that was created by Auguste Boal, based on Paulo Freire's work of liberation theology. Now, it's not solely play, but it definitely has a lot of fun in it. And I remember participating in something called image theater. It was improvisational and it was playful, and it helped us to look at the way we look at ourselves. So for example, in image theater, say a group of 5 of you go up to the stage And people would throw out ideas, and you would become a picture frame. And the 5 of you would become living picture frames. So one of the things they threw out in this Theater of the Oppressed workshop was ideal family. And so they went up, and there was a mom and a dad, and they were holding hands, and the children were holding flowers, and everyone was all kind and cheerful. And you got that picture frame of the ideal family. And then they said, okay, someone from the audience go up and reorganize it to maybe a family structure that you experience. And so then somebody would go up and reposition the folks on stage. And maybe you had the mom turn like this, and they had their arms up like this, or maybe the dad was down here. So this Theater of the Oppressed, it was really wonderful. And it was a good way to work on play. It really was. It was lighthearted play. There's no winners, there's no losers, because when play is done right, it can be creative. When play is done correctly, play actually can help you solve problems. And it's something to think about bringing into the world. So play can also be intellectual. I know that a lot of you now are maybe engaged in Wordle. I have not taken the plunge into Wordle, a game on Facebook where you have to guess the letters in so many seconds, and everyone is just so wonderful. So you're sort of playing against yourself. But I like the intellectual game. I like Jeopardy. And you could make Jeopardy anything. You could have a retreat and make Jeopardy about the history of your church, the history of the community, the history of the whole CSL community, the history of Davis community. You can have all types of games. So you can play intellectually like that. Now, play can also be whimsical. And I like it's like art or yoga, ping pong, or a 30-second dance party. Ernest Holmes said in A New Design for Living that the present moment can never provide us with more joy than we are willing to embody. Now, you guys have embodied, you embody all is well. But this is about how would you embody joy? How would you embody joy? So I don't know if you're willing to do it. Some communities, I think I might have even seen UIs do this once. They have sort of a dance button. And it's a little bit like, I don't know if you remember Grey's Anatomy, where people would take a dance break. They would just like take a dance break. It's high energy, high music, everybody dances together, and it actually shifts the energy. So you got your screens off, so you can do this or not, but I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna try to sort of shift the energy by putting a little bit of play into action right now. So let's see if I can do this very quickly. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my sound. Share, and then let's take 30 seconds and really, as a community, let's have a little play. Here we go. Oh, hear my prayer tonight. I'm singing to the sky. Give me strength to raise my voice. Let me testify. Oh, hear my prayer tonight. 'Cause this is do or die. The time has come to make a choice. And I choose. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Yeah. Let it move. Let it move. Let it move. Yeah. Back when I was young. So just that quick. Just that quick. See, let's stop the share. All right. So just that quickly, like you shifted. And so say something's going on, or there's something, you can just like put that in to a moment in your day. Just call up a friend and go, hey, let's dance it out. You know, dancing movement is really an old healing modality. You know, there's Qigong, there's Tai Chi. And I was actually listening to Reverend Abigail up in Seattle, and she talked about a book called American Shaman. And I got the book for a completely different reason, but I started reading the book, and it was all about sort of this tribal dance, this tribal movement, this ancient movement of energy, this shifting of energy, this transference of energy as a healing modality. And isn't it nice that not only can it heal, but it's fun. It's absolute fun. So I know that this community has ways in which they are incorporating fun into the community. Some of the things that I've seen, some of the things that I've experienced, and some of the things that you may do, but maybe you want to think about just a little bit, are like game nights or glow bowling. Went glow bowling once. They turn all the lights off and you wear fluorescent things and you just go glow bowling. Hikes and pizza parties. Now I have to admit that I'm pretty fun challenged when it comes to game and play. So I'm going to take up this challenge with you. Like I said, for me, it was a great meditation on play this entire month for me. It's a way that I can help spread joy, both in my own life and in those around me. And so one of the challenges that we pose is to just, can you say yes? Can you say yes to invitations? Can you say yes to being invited out? Can you say yes to going on that walk, to going to that art museum? Whatever it is, maybe somebody's inviting you out to sing karaoke, or maybe it's walking for a fundraiser. I'm just going to invite you that whenever the opportunity to play, whenever the opportunity to increase that level of joy and the level of connection, because play indeed is that deep connection. You will build your community stronger, and it starts with you. So Shonda Rhimes, again, the producer and creator of Bridgerton and many others, she wrote a book called The Year of Saying Yes. And she says yes about stepping out of your comfort zone. And when you step out of our own personal comfort zones, this is what Shonda Rhimes says. She says, every yes changes something in me. Every yes is a bit more transformative. Every yes sparks some new phase of revolution. So in building your new community and thinking about your new community, Davis, and thinking about building it, when you're visioning, when you are creating what you'd like to be and how you'd like to move as a community in the world, think about what you personally can do to bring the fun factor into your community. Is it crafts? Is it singing? Is it drawing? Is it leading an improvisational session? So ask yourself, when I bring my fullness of myself into the community, what can I give? And when you bring your fullness of yourself into the community, you foster a deeper connection with everyone. You know, Ernest Holmes said that if we want to know a God of joy, we must first be joyful. So if you want to know joy, be joy, bring joy, embody joy. If you want to know love, be love. If you want to know peace, be peace. We must bring it, we must feel it. So life is good. Life is beautiful. Spirit's essential life qualities include joy and fun. And when we foster that in our community, it expands. And then we're truly happy together. So this week, find someone in your community maybe and invite them out on your play date. Maybe it's walking through the Arboretum. whatever it is, whatever this energy of fun is, whatever this energy of laughter is, it's how we raise our vibration. It's how we raise the vibration of our communities. It's how we raise the vibration of the world. It is peace in action, love in action, and joy in action. So I don't know if this month has been a challenge for you, but it's definitely been a challenge for me. And it's definitely made me better, more lighthearted, and much more open and receptive. So I see you, Davis, and I hold you in a light of playful fullness in your community. And that play doesn't have to have, it doesn't have to have a purpose, but man, sometimes it does have a purpose. Sometimes it can change a lot. Sometimes that play is making a bouquet and taking it to a senior home, or doing crafts and working with young people. It can just keep you younger, reduce your stress, make you feel much more alive. So be present in your play and go forward as a community, because the community that plays together, grows together, and stays together. All right, let's just take this message into prayer, right? I am so very grateful for this day that has opened itself up to many ways play together as that we express God as play, as joy, as love. I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every person here that is building this new consciousness, raising this vibration in the world. Just thankful, thankful, and just knowing that play is good, and the vibration of play, the vibration of community, the vibration of love is the vibration of CSL Davis. So it is.